What's going on, y'all? This is the Market and Main podcast, and I'm your host, Brian, and I'm joined by my co-host.
I'm Avery. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, Avery? How's your
Man,
week going?
it's treacherous, dog.
What you mean?
It's just like, I don't know. It's the beginning of the week. You know, everything kind of comes down. You got to start back the week fresh. You got to reach out back to people. It's just a little ghetto sometimes, dog, because not everybody be on the same flow that you're
Mm,
on, you know?
yeah,
And, being in the mortgage industry and real estate, you got to make sure everybody's on point. You got to make sure your file's still flowing the way it is because a lot can change over the weekend. I
yeah,
mean, I can have a client, for example, the main thing we tell a client when, you're purchasing a home, don't use your credit cards, don't max it out, don't go apply for a new loan. They can go out and they could be like, oh, I want to go buy a car. And then they call you on Monday like, oh, I got good news. I wanted to buy a car. And then you just mess up the whole file
mm.
and you don't know if you could save it.
Sounds stressful.
Yeah. How about you? How's everything been with you?
It's pretty good. I just realized we just got straight into it. They don't even know who we are, what's going on. For y'all that don't know, Avery is the best mortgage lender slash retail realtor that you can get in the Central Florida area.
And I did not pay him to say that.
Didn't pay me to say that. Not yet. When he pays me, I'm gonna say nicer things, but no bias. He's great. He helped me get my house. He's great at what he does. Me, my name is Brian. I'm the DP and the president of Mirai. I do marketing. I'm a photographer and videographer, really into helping people with their storytelling and capturing what kind of ads or business stories that you're trying to do. So yeah, for me, business wise, it's been pretty good. I mean, trying to get more clients, you know, going to networking events. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. But it's been kind of difficult going to marketing events because I'm not the most social person. You know that. But
That's why you with me. I'm
yeah,
I'm the social butterfly.
oh,
We
shoot,
go
I'm saying
together.
I'm saying I'm not a social person. Social person, and we on a podcast right now. It's kind of crazy.
Breaking out the shell.
Trying my best. Hopefully this helps. Um, yeah, but yeah, that's all you got going on this week so far. And any wins or losses, or what you want to talk? What's
Well,
going
I
on?
mean, one of the wins, and it was part of today's topic we wanted to discuss was AI.
Mhm.
And we're both in fields where AI definitely has a big advantage, and maybe some of its disadvantages too.
Mhm.
Um, I can speak for me for AI in my business and mortgage lending. There's a lot of people who are afraid of the changes with AI.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people who've been in the industry 30 plus years. They're either with the flow or they're not with the flow. I remember in the beginning, people were saying that AI was going to take over the whole industry,
Yeah.
and there wasn't going to be a need for loan officers anymore.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things like, yeah, AI is smart, AI is intelligent, AI has the answers, but you need somebody behind the AI to realistically input in the information and tell it what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just for myself, I've been using AI when it comes to reaching out to new people and finding people within my network or outside of my network for referral partners or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And I love it. I
Mhm.
mean, I've even used it for some of my videos that we've done ourselves for scripting purposes.
Mhm.
And what I've learned is it's telling you what you want to get out of it. Like you tell, like, hey, I wanted to reach to this amount of people, or I wanted to reach to this certain type of audience. It gives you the key words that you need to say, or even how to edit something, which I think is a cool thing for my industry.
Yeah.
Um, I think I remember somebody was saying that AI, or maybe it wasn't AI, but robots were running a McDonald's or something
Mm.
in Texas. It was years ago I
Okay.
seen it, but I was like, who's gonna tell that robot what to do?
Yeah.
Like I feel like AI can take away some things, but I think that's not gonna take away everything. But
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I don't even use Google anymore.
Yeah.
I go on ChatGPT.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like I was just talking to somebody the other day. Like ChatGPT kind of won the culture war of AI because nowadays, even if you're talking about like Gemini or Claude or something, you're still gonna say ChatGPT just because like it's like back in the days we would just say Google it. Like
Yeah,
Google it. Like, it's the word that kind of just won over everything. So it's kind of like how iPhone, everybody uses the iPhone. It's just kind of everybody focuses on ChatGPT because that's what everybody knows. Funny you talk about AI. Like my day job, I'm a software engineer, as you know, so I use AI every day. And a lot of people kind of in your industry where they were saying they were going to replace mortgage people. Everybody was saying they were going to replace software engineers with AI. I mean, I can see that AI is really good, but I also see where it's bad because I use it all the time. So I can see, I use all different types of AIs at the same time, and I can tell which ones suck, which ones are really good.
So you like kind of compare it to
Yeah.
the response you get here to the response you get there?
I'll ask the same question to three of them at the same time just to see, and I'll compare the answers myself. But even in my day job as a software engineer, I have to hold its hand. Like it's very smart. It's very good as a research tool. So like if you have a question, if there's something that you want to ask a question about, it's gonna help you out to find that information. But you kind of sometimes have to take a grain of salt when it comes to like making a final decision. And that's one thing, like when you're dealing with something like finances, where you got to be careful because, like you just said, the first thing you were talking about, how like mistakes can happen and mess up somebody's application. If the AI does it and you're lazy, you're not even paying attention, you think, oh, it's good. Then the next day you realize something got messed up.
Well, that's the other thing too when it comes to with mortgages and with underwriting. Sometimes you can't put it through the system. Sometimes the system won't like it. It could be a really good deal. It could be a solid deal that meets the real guidelines of like FHA loans, a VA loan, or even like a non-QM product, right? Like a bank statement loan or a loan that requires you to put more money down. And the AI might deny it. But if you put a physical underwriter in there who's been doing it for years, they're going to approve it.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect. And I've actually done that too. When you were saying that you test the same question on different AIs, I did that with some of the scripts.
Yeah.
And I feel like ChatGPT knows when it's Gemini and it like dubs Gemini completely. Like it's like, nah, bro, this is good, but it can be better. But there are also times when I would do stuff with ChatGPT and it's like it'll kind of like contradict itself sometimes. And I'd be cussing at it.
Yeah. I'm messy. I'll get into ChatGPT. Like if ChatGPT messes something up, I'll tell it, Claude gave me this answer. Why you didn't? I can show you my history. I've done that. Like why you didn't come up with this answer? They'll be like, so sorry. Like, oh, that actually is a good idea. Like,
but it understands it. It just laughs at me.
Yeah.
It doesn't even get like an emotion. It's just like, haha, that was funny. Let's get back to it. And I'm like, all right,
I get it.
Yeah, it is a thing. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Like what you said with research, I've noticed that all AIs are different. Like I even did one. I did one for a presentation. I have to do in a few weeks. I just told it what I wanted it to be. I still have to go in there and do my own editing, but
yeah,
that's that.
Another thing that I feel like a lot of people don't know is that when it comes to the AI, like as it updates, as new models come out, it's context updates. So like if you go back to like ChatGPT or Claude from a year ago, it only had up until a certain date of information, and as it updates, it'll get new information. So if you're just expecting it, like you're dealing in an industry like real estate, or I'm dealing in an industry like software engineering, or even marketing, where something could have happened yesterday, and you might be thinking Claude or ChatGPT is going to know the answer or is going to know that information. It doesn't know that. Like I've asked ChatGPT about cameras and stuff that came out 2 months ago, and it's like that camera doesn't exist. And you kind of have to let it know, like, no, it does. Go, here's the article, read it. Now you know it exists. And sometimes you got to teach it. But yeah, that's one of those things that I found with the AI. Like that's why I asked different questions, because ChatGPT will not know about it, then Claude might know about it.
How do you feel about like when you see it, like social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Do you ever question if a video has been like AI'd or not AI'd, or like, because I do it all the time, and I'd be looking at even like a news article, I see that people are AIing it now.
Yeah.
And the main thing that I really hate, if you have an event coming up, or if you have like anything going on networking wise, please stop using ChatGPT to make your flyers. Can we just go back to getting a regular flyer person? Because they all look the same.
Yeah.
And it irritates the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it for fun, don't get me wrong, if I want to be funny with it, but I just really hate the fact that like there's no creativity no more.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
And what was it? The last networking event that we went to, you remember everybody was talking about AI as
Yeah.
well, and it was like they weren't even talking about like the real in depth of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like they didn't really share the knowledge that they should have when it came to that.
Hmm.
Because networking is all about getting to know people.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, to me, I've learned one thing. When I first started going to networking events, I was like 22. I'll never forget this. This is when I first got into banking. I was in a credit union, and my manager took me to a networking event. And it was funny because he took me to an Hispanic Chamber of Commerce networking event,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't speak Spanish. And I was like, why the hell am I going here? Like, how am I going to talk to somebody? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he told me in that event, when we got into that room, you can't leave without talking to one person. I was nervous as hell. My first event ever. I'm like, I gotta just, what do I do? What do I say? I don't know. Um, I found the courage to do it. I went to go talk to somebody, and it turned out they were a banker,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew it was my first networking event, and they called me out on it. I was like, yeah, it's my first one. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But he was cool. He was like, all right, we can leave now. So as I started growing in my career, when I was in banking still, I used to go and I used to try to go talk to everybody in the room
Mm-hmm.
and give my business card to every single buddy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that that doesn't work. What I've learned now is the relationship you meet with people at a networking event. So I kind of always make it my goal to, if I'm going to go with a networking event, I'm not just going to go pass out my card to
Yeah.
everybody. I want to have a genuine conversation with at least 2 to 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
15, 20-minute time span, wherever the conversation leads, right?
Yeah.
And, from there, I feel like I have a better return rate with, I actually built a relationship with this person and I actually know what they do and why they do it.
Yeah. Well, talk to me a little bit more about that because we go to networking events with each other all the time, and one of the things I always tell people is like I'm not a small talk person. Like I'll go to an event, I do pictures and videos, man. Like I'll talk to 10, 20 people, be like, hey, this is what I do. Here's my Blink business card or my physical business card. You need pictures, you need videos. All right, I'll hit you up tomorrow. I'll do the
You
follow
actually
up.
need to get
But
some.
then I'll go with you, and I'll see like you'll spend 30 minutes talking to somebody like you just said, and you'll really dive in. And from what I'm assuming you're building deeper bonds with people, but like it doesn't really click with me. Like what kind of leads you to do those kinds of things?
Well, because I think of it as somebody like myself, right? Like if I meet somebody somewhere and you just give me a business card and you just be like, "Oh, call me if you need this." Like I'm not gonna call you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you. I don't know anything about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, for example, um, what was it? I went to an event and they're like, "Oh, I'm a realtor. If you know anybody who needs to buy a house, like let me know."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you do like commercial? Do you do residential? Like sometimes I won't even know the person's name.
Yeah.
They just trying to get their card out there. Like, yeah, I can look at your card and I can see what your name is, but it takes away that real introduction because then I feel like if you just gave me your card and told me this is what you do and walked away, you're gonna look at me more as a transaction versus a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've come to learn is you can't treat people like a transaction.
Yeah.
And I feel like treating people like a transaction, it just turns people off for certain professions. Like how many times out of all the networking events that we've gone to, right? You've always heard realtors say this: I make people feel like they're not a transaction.
Mm-hmm.
So how many times do you think they've actually told that to people
Yeah.
or like actually made it to like,
Well,
hey, I'm not an actual transaction? And you need to get some real business cards, by the way.
Realtors are just salespeople. They're just trying to sell dreams. They say.
But they're not. Oh my God. But that's the thing. And in the industry, even for mortgage lenders or even for your industry too, right? Like it's sales.
Mm-hmm.
But there's two type of people in this world. It's either you're gonna sell as a transaction or you're gonna sell and keep a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to figure out what you want to do. I mean, if you're just going to be doing transactions, you're not building a real relationship, you're not going to last long. You have to build real relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when you go to a networking event, if I'm going to go and talk to somebody, I need to genuinely sit down with them and just talk with them, even if it's somebody in my same field.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to one in Winter Haven the other day, and I for whatever reason, they put me together with a mortgage broker.
Mhm.
And, obviously we're both in the same field and we actually spoke to each other. We discussed how the industry is going, how the market is, what products and services we offer. Because as a lender, not everybody offers the same thing, right? Like everybody offers something different. Everybody's guidelines are different. So maybe it's something that I might not be able to do, but I know this person from X, Y, and Z. I can always refer to them like, hey, listen, I can't do this, but I have somebody who needs this help.
Yeah.
Can they do it, etc. And that's really what it is. And for realtor wise, there are good realtors out there. It's in any industry. There's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it. I mean, at some point they get washed away, but that's just what it is. Same thing with your industry, I'd assume too. I mean, because you guys sell hopes and dreams.
Yeah. Well, we make people look good.
Yeah.
That's what
And
everybody
then you make
wants.
us have to go and
Mm.
pay for ads in this place and that
Mm.
place and you know
Mhm.
and what if it don't work?
Yeah.
You don't care.
Mm.
Or do you care?
I care, cause you know why I care?
Yo, because some people really just be like, yo, I just need a check and I need to be out.
You know why?
They don't really care.
But you know why I care? And I just thought of this just now. Original quote for me: "People aren't transactions. Can't look at people as transactions." I just came up with that.
You're full of shit. We really just got into our real comfort zones now. Like, you're full of shit. I literally just said that like a few minutes ago.
Can't remember. It just came. It was in my head, and I had to say it. It was speaking to me.
Anyways, so with networking events, like, do you actually feel that they work, or do you feel like they're just like a waste of time?
I do, and one of the things that I would say, based on personal experience, is if you know you're not the kind of person that is super social, nothing wrong with going with a partner. We go to events together. He's a social guy. The last event, we have an event coming up this Thursday, and gave me a big shout out about my business and what I do for him and his business, and that attracted people to me. That the last couple of events we went to, I had no desire to be social. Like, I went and sat down, I was in my emails, but just because Avery kind of went out of his way to let people know, like, this is my photographer, this is my videographer. Everybody, like, there's a lot of people that need that service as well, so they'll seek you out.
Any industry that you're in, whether you're doing insurance, whether you have a storefront like mom and pop wise, especially where we are, particularly in Central Florida, this is a mom and pop everything.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that kind of helped me socialize a little bit more, because you remember the first thing I was looking for was a drink. I was like, I need some wine and let me just hang out, relax, mellow. I feel like networking events do work, but it depends what you're going for.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some people who just hang out with a clique. They come for the drinks and then they leave. And it's like, I didn't get to talk to you.
That's kind of what I always thought, because, like, I remember when I first used to see you do that, like, spend time with one or two people. Like, in my mind, I was like, what are you getting out of it? Because you're talking to somebody that we already saw before, like, but I get what you're saying now. I mean, you build relationships. Maybe they refer you to somebody later, I guess I can see the pros and cons, because for me, like, you always know, like, I'm not a small talk person. So I'm just like, all right, like, we could do business, especially because my business is you don't want it to be, people aren't transactions, but part of it is transaction. Like, do you want to picture or not?
Transaction in there, but you gotta make it like, why do I want to work with you? Why do I want to spend my money with you or spend time with you?
Yeah.
And I mean, for you, for photography, I can't imagine all that you have to go through, because you got to also be the producer and the director and have the creativity.
Yeah.
Because you could be dealing with somebody who's not creative at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to do. You tell me what to do. And you have to come up with the plot. You got to come up with the scene. You got to come up how to shoot this, how to shoot that. Like, I can't do any of that. I could sit here and I could talk all day, but I don't have that. I don't have that creativity. I like to think I do, but I don't.
Well, you do talk all day.
Well, somebody's got to talk.
That's true. That's
why we go to these events together, because, like, I'm gonna talk.
Yo,
and
bro,
you just be right there.
Some days I'll be sitting there on my phone. I'm like, yo, Avery, you ready to go, bro? Like, but a part of me knows it, because, like, we drive separately. So I mean, if I really want to leave, I could go home. But it's like, I'm probably gonna
But
gain
what if you
something by
leave and then
staying.
I'd
Yeah,
be
that's
like,
what
oh,
I'm
that's my
thinking.
photographer right there. And
That's what I've
you
been thinking.
know,
It's like I probably will gain something from hanging around. It's helpful. Like I'll definitely say like the last two events, I know for a fact I didn't feel like talking, and I probably made about like 5 or 6 contacts each one,
yeah.
and against my will. Like I had no desire to talk to anybody, and people came to me and spoke to me and gave me the information. So
I think when people see this podcast and they see you talking, they're gonna be like, man, this
whoa.
guy does not shut up. I really think that they're
I'm
gonna be
like,
like,
is
I
that
don't.
is that
They're
you
gonna want to know
talking?
this
I
person.
don't know. Hopefully, we'll grow even more, and maybe I'll get more talkative. Maybe this will help me out in the future. But,
I think you will.
yeah.
So, so what made you want to get into videography and photography? Because I know that we've always like spoken about it, and I was just like, I don't know if like I never thought that you'd actually do it. And then you just call me one day and you're like, I have all of this equipment, and I come by the house and I see $10,000 worth of stuff.
Um, to be honest, I mean, like I said, I'm a software engineer full time. That's what I do in my day job. Um, and I started doing that on the side, like trying to make websites for people, make apps, especially as AI came in. Like I was like, shoot, I can make a website for somebody even faster, collect all the money. Eventually I started to feel like the market was really congested. Like there's a lot of people doing the same things and it all kind of looked the same to me. And eventually I decided to like kind of take a different aspect and look at creativity. Like one of the things I feel like AI is really good at making the same thing over and over again. But even you'll see in like the website world or the software engineering world, there's a lot of designers that have strong feelings that like it doesn't design things very well. It can give you, you could design a little logo, you could design a website, but if you really want that personal touch, that kind of feeling like, okay, this was like, and it is subjective. Like everybody's, there's people that don't care. Like, give me a free logo, give me a free website. I'm fine with that. That's all I need. But there will always be people, in my opinion, that want something a little bit deeper, and it's a rabbit hole. Because once you start getting into it, you're gonna, like you said, buy $10,000 worth of gear. You're gonna learn about lighting. You're gonna learn about, you know, every different aspect of it. Sound. We get into all of that type of stuff, and it's really just a really interesting field because as you learn more, you start to love it more. And now I'm sold. Like I'm stuck. I'm gonna probably be a video guy for the rest of my life.
You know, at one point I was a web designer too.
Really.
Actually, yeah. Um, back when they had MySpace and you could have picked your top 5 and all that, I was a web designer then too.
That's
You
true.
got to think about it. That was technically web design because you had to go, like, if you wanted a certain logo, you had to go find whatever code and put that shit.
So what you're saying is you're old.
Huh?
So what you're trying to say is you're old,
Nah,
basically.
dog. I started from the bottom and now we here.
Okay.
Like, you know, the jits now that got Instagram and TikTok. Like, nah, bro. TikTok before that, we had Vine. You remember Do It for the Vine? Yeah, we
I ain't
had
gonna do it.
Vine, dog.
I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, we had Vine, and then they went to TikTok like, oh, this is it. What was the other one? AIM. AIM was like the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like but I don't think I think they made something else now for it or something.
I just heard you say something about jit. Where are you from?
I'm from Florida, dog. I was born in Canada.
Okay.
You know.
So you can. So you're supposed to say, I'm over
Nah,
here.
nah,
I'm
nah,
over
nah,
here.
nah,
A.
nah, 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 nah. Let's do this
I'm
song
over here.
straight. So
Crody.
I was born in Canada.
Okay.
I came to the States when I was very young. My parents were already living in Florida. They already had a house here. And my mom went back to Canada to have me because it was cheaper.
Okay.
You know, my mom, when she first came from Guyana, she didn't come up to the United States. She went to Canada.
Okay.
She met my dad and they got married, and that's how she was able to come over here. But her papers did not process yet as permanent resident. So she was already good in Canada because when she had my sister in New York City.
Yeah.
And the medical bill was expensive.
Yeah.
Like outrageously expensive during that time in the 90s, whatever that was.
Yeah.
So she went back to Canada to have me because there was more benefits to it.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm Canadian.
So you're Canadian.
Yeah. But I got dual citizenship, so I can always leave if I want to leave.
But Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about Canada. I can just tell you that it's cold as shit all year and that they have the CN Tower and the Blue Jays. That's it.
Okay.
Don't ask me nothing else.
Okay.
I can tell you everything about Florida, where I grew up. I could tell you a little bit about New York City because I lived in New York City.
He's from Canada. He's from Canada.
I'm not from Canada, bro.
Canadian.
I am from Florida. Okay? I am flow grown. Okay? And where are you from? You over here like,
New
big
York.
and bad.
I'm from New York.
You don't even say it like a real New Yorker.
I'm
Like
from,
you say it mad
from
soft,
New
no
York,
bass
son.
line. Like,
I'm from New York, son. You from the six, Crody. You wouldn't know.
yeah, but I lived in New York City too.
From a
I
couple,
lived in South Jamaica.
I guess.
I ain't gonna lie, I had fun living in South Jamaica, bro.
Mhm.
As a teenager, any evil thing that you could think about doing as a teenager, you can do it in New York City.
Is the statute of limitations over for that? Like you're not gonna get in trouble saying that type of stuff?
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay.
I would hope that people don't follow that message I just said.
Yeah.
Or we can edit that out,
But yeah, you asked me. I guess I returned the favor. Why'd you decide to get into mortgages?
So actually, I got into mortgages because growing up, while living down here, I remember my parents going through a divorce, and I kept hearing these terms of like, we're selling the house, somebody's taking equity, um, this and that. Like I heard all these terms at such a young age, and I realized that my parents themselves did not understand any of it. So like coming from a third world country like Guyana, right? You're coming to America and you're now learning these things and you're trusting people or people in in this profession to advise you on what to do, what not to do, etc. And they didn't have that. They were one of those people like when they learned the word for the first time, they just tried to put the word in everything and it didn't even make sense out of context. So long story short, I always made it like I want to learn about like what really happened and what could have been avoided. You know what I mean? Because as a kid, you don't know. Like if you're in your imagine you're in your childhood home and your parents are telling you that we might have to move out of here or we lost the house. You don't understand any of that, right? Because you don't understand like how bills work, how credit works, any of that stuff. And as I got older, I was like, I want to learn how all this stuff works. I want to learn how money works. Not to say that my parents were not financially responsible, but I felt like there could have been things they could have done better because they never taught us about money. The only thing my parents ever taught me was you go to work and you save your money. That's it. But what do you do with the money that you saved? What do you buy? What do you not buy? What do you use to build assets? Nobody ever taught you that. And that's how I ended up going into banking because I wanted to learn how money worked. And when I got into banking and I learned how money worked, I started learning about credit, what to do with your credit, what not to do with your credit. I started learning about auto loans and selling auto loans. Like it was just something that really excited me because I'm like, oh, how does this work? How does that work? And then when I heard about mortgage lending, that just brought me back to as a child because of the credit union that I worked at, we did mortgages. And I was just a teller. So I couldn't do anything but cash, check, give back money, check, like all the simple stuff a teller does. And I kind of always made it my devoted goal that I'm going to get my mortgage license someday. So I even went down to the nitty gritty of it to like, you can actually get your NMLS number without actually having the license. And I went and did it for free. I was like, I got my NMLS now. Can I do it? Because I didn't understand the process. Nobody ever actually taught me how to do it. I kind of was just winging it for a couple years. And in 2020, I actually went to go take my mortgage class. And I remember I passed my class with a 98 because you got to take the 20 hours. And my instructor told me that you need to go take your exam immediately. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it as soon as I come back from New York because I went to New York for my niece's sweet 16. And when I came back, COVID happened. Like we almost didn't even make it out of New York. That's how COVID started. Because remember, the city went on shutdown, and we didn't know what to expect coming back home. So I couldn't take my exam in March because you have to actually go into the office. It wasn't like your real estate license or insurance license. You could take it at home and you have somebody watching you. I waited till August. and I failed it by 2 points the first time.
Mhm.
And I got so discouraged on it, and I never went back to do it. But I got an opportunity as a branch manager for a credit union. So I did that for a little while in hopes that they would help me get my license. They never did.
Mhm.
So I ended up still going back to and doing it myself. Um, I did go and get my real estate license because I was going through a certain time in my life. And I had people around me who was like, man, we're going to help you out. We're going to do something for you, which I appreciated. And I was like, I did a few transactions and like, I didn't really like it. I really wanted to do mortgages. So I went back and I got my license. And now I'm here. So the main thing that I've learned now is like, I just don't want to have anybody else go through what I went through as a kid and just educate people. It's not just about selling them a loan. It's about educating them like, hey, this is what you're getting yourself into. This is what this is about. This is what this requires. This is what this means. Because even if you never know who you're giving the information to,
Yeah.
you never know who's going to use it. And you got to just be a trustworthy person, because I've met people who've actually gotten screwed by lenders, by realtors, insurance agents, like, because those people didn't have their true like feeling at heart. They were just like, I wanted to treat it as a transaction. So imagine if somebody else went through that, how they felt, how they reacted to it. How did it make them, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know that much big words. But it's like, how did that make them feel emotionally? Like, what kind of trauma did that make? Because at some point in time, that brought a little bit of trauma to me because I didn't understand it.
Mhm.
As I got older and I understood it, I actually talked to both of my parents separately about it. And I was like, you guys could have done things so much differently. And they're like, no, 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 no. I'm like, all right, whatever. Caribbean people, man, you can't tell Caribbean parents nothing.
Yeah.
So that's life growing up in, a Caribbean household. And anybody else who's Caribbean tuning in, like, it's true. Your parents will tell you that they know all, but you know nothing.
Yeah, well, I had a good conversation with you today.
No, likewise.
How you think the first episode went?
I know we went over 30 minutes.
It's all right.
That's all good. That's our producer's fault. Producer ain't tell us nothing.
It's all good. Well, it's great having this conversation with you. Episode 1 is in the books. Stay tuned for a lot more. Once again, this is Market in Maine. See you later.
We out.